So thank you very much for being here. We will present some interesting funding opportunities for companies that are interested in the space assets. So you can either be a space company that wants to launch satellites, for example, or you can simply be interested to integrate some space assets into your business. Let's imagine a few fields of application for such a use. Let's take a modern agricultural field. The crops are monitored by IoT sensors that enable the external factors to help him ensuring a good growth, humidity, size of the crops. So it could be very valuable for such a company to have a satellite overview of its crops, as well as precise information regarding the weather. That's one example of how space assets can be valuable to agricultural company, but it is as relevant in other sectors, in cybersecurity, with the communication, and mobility with the geolocalization, and so on. Today, we will present a few programs that will enable you to receive funding and use interesting space-related tools. Before I start, allow me to give you a brief introduction of my company. Argentum Consultants specializes in EU research and innovation funding. The company was established in 1999, and since then, we had vast experience and expertise regarding governmental funding for innovative technology and research and development. We have 30 employees divided into 3 departments: strategy, which I am part of, business development, and the consulting and writing team. Our vision is to target innovative fundings and to enhance participation and success in multinational research and innovation projects. Here is the team, and I'm here, Lia Amoyal. Voilà. So we are at Argentum divided into clusters. We follow the division that is provided by the program Horizon Europe. So it enables us to provide the most adapted and professional service as it comes to European funding. We are constantly expanding our knowledge and funding resources, and we are divided so the teams are for the health cluster, for the agriculture, food, bioeconomy, natural resources cluster, mobility, energy, climate with my colleague Ben, and me, I am oriented digital, industry, and space. So, as to our proposition, we know that the abundance of funding opportunities out there can be very challenging because of the complexity of the submission process, in addition to the many details and guidelines that every funding opportunity entails. So we have developed a unique method to increase our client access to funding while minimizing their effort. We call this our multi-submission strategy, which means that we target multiple calls, multiple funding sources to optimize our chances to be funded and to create a rational strategy of multi-submission for the applicant. So these grants and tenders can be considered as a source of revenue. They're usually competitive and demanding in terms of eligibility criteria. So every source of funding will ask for different requirements. So some open calls will be open only to EU countries. Some other will be more open with the country, but but more selective with the type of company. So only SMEs, only public institutes. So all the grants will have their own guidelines. We become together partners, and we try to elaborate together a project that is grantable in line with the developments that you have in your roadmap and that ties the scope of the call. Together with your project manager, you will be able to conceptualize and support the preparation of the proposal until we reach a submission. Thanks to our methodology and we aim at increasing your success rate. So you will be, okay, so now that you understand who we are, what do Europe about space assets? There are some programs. This one, Digital Europe, is about creating digital inclusion, green growth, and building a Europe that is more digitalized, as the title says. So they have allocated some high budgets, for example, for the calls under the topic high performance computing. They have allocated more than 500 million euros. So this program is the continuation of multiple of different programs that were for more than 10 years. This is a new program, but it's already a prolongation. The participation in this section is open to all eligible entities. SMEs, international organization, private sector. All topics under this section are subject to some provision about, well, being ethical. Basically, those topics cover EU capacities in quantum communication, an emerging field that will be of high strategic value in the development of communication and structured data, applications and services, and it will enable the EU and its member states and associated countries to safeguard sensitive governmental infrastructures against potential interference. So there are lots of programs there, and you can apply with your technology to receive funding. Okay, a bit of vocabulary and a bit of understanding of what are the assets provided by the EU. I'm sure you have already heard about Galileo, but just for a reminder, Galileo is the Europe's global satellite navigation system. So it has entered initial operational capability in phase in 2016. And since then, anyone that needs and is able to use its signals will be welcome to use for positioning, navigation, and timing. Currently, there are more than 200 Galileo-ready models of smartphones and tablets available, and they will contribute to an installed base greater than 1 billion. Galileo is also adopted in additional users' domains such as transportation and professional agriculture applications. Copernicus. So thanks to a variety of technologies, from satellites in space to measurement systems on the ground, in the sea, in the air, Copernicus will deliver information services openly and freely in a wide range of applications areas. EU METSAT, it's about the exploitation of meteorological satellites. It operates in Europe, Africa, and over the Indian Ocean. GovSatcom is another possible asset for you to use. It aims at providing secure and cost-efficient communication capabilities to security and safety critical missions and operations managed by the EU members and including national security actors and EU agencies and institutions. The last one, last wording is EGNOS. It is the European's regional satellite-based augmentation system that is used to improve the performance of global navigation satellite system. So it is deployed to make some corrections about the navigation system, and it has been deployed to provide safety of live navigation, services to aviation, maritime, and land-based users over most of Europe. It will increase the positioning information and provide crucial integrity message regarding the continuity and availability of a signal. Here are potentially most of the assets that the Europe can provide. Maybe it inspires you a bit about what could be the applications. So the main program that will be related to space is under cluster 4 because, well, it's in the title. The title is Industry, Digital Industry and Space. So behind the space research, we need the space tech. It is crucial in our lives today via satellites, mobile phones, transportation management, and navigation systems. So the objectives of this cluster and regarding the space area, it is first to maximize the benefits of space for society and the EU economy by encouraging the uptake of space services and data and advancing technology in order to meet new user needs. Another objective is to foster a globally competitive and innovative European space sector by supporting research and innovation and development of entrepreneurship and new business opportunities. Third objective is to maintain Europe's autonomous access to space. Of course, we don't want to be dependent on US satellites or Russian. Well, the last objective is to reinforce synergies between civil and security space as activities. Next slide. So one program under Horizon Europe is called USPA. USPA is the operational European Union agency for the space program. It has been launched in 2021. It is expanding the activities of the former Europe program for space. It has adopted a user-oriented approach to promote sustainable growth and to improve the security and safety of the European Union. So there are some calls that I present here. They will renew. Every year, USPA will release new calls, but here you have EGNSS applications for smart mobility. It is relative to the transport area, so aviation, maritime, rail, road. The action focuses on the development of transport applications and mobility services through the realization of large-scale demonstration and implementation projects. It will indicate the wide adoption in Europe, the necessary wide adoption in Europe and worldwide, and associated standards and certification. It targets commercialization by the end of the project. Second call, I'll go a bit fast because some are really similar. So the second call is about Copernicus data assets with data contributed to seizable and scalable application. So it is relative to many verticals, for example, agriculture, food security, health, energy, natural resources, insurance, tourism. It's really wide. Third call, to stimulate the public sector in Europe to use space downstream products. So it will involve the SME as technology provider. Fourth call, GovSatcom, is about consolidation of security-related services, demonstration in a user context about the synergy with the services provided by the other components of the space regulation. It will emphasize civilian users and interoperability of services. Fifth call, it's designing space-based downstream application with international partners. So here we are talking about bringing a new or improved product, processes, services into the market with international partners. So potentially expanding the product, trying to find new markets and generate really the product to go to the market. The call number 6, large-scale Copernicus data uptake with AI and HPC. So here, the idea is to develop new and innovative products and services designed by industrial and user requirements for using data assets, service products at their core, scaling up the increased data volumes of Copernicus archives, database, and solving technical challenges using these technologies. So this is one direction. Especially in the USPA, there is one competition that I want to emphasize because it's really open. It's a small call. When we talked previously about calls of 6 million euros up to 10 million euros, here it's a small challenge, 100K euros, but it's very wide and it doesn't have so much requirements regarding the topic. So Space My Life is about consumer solutions for mobile applications. That's one track, one possibility. To use the space asset, leverage the space data from Galileo and Copernicus to Space My Life, that's the wording. So to include to mobile application and other drones, robotics. There is also the track Green Planet to address environmental challenges in the sustainable life, in sustainable agriculture, management of research of energy and resources. The last one is dive in deep tech. So it's about AI, quantum technologies, how blockchain, metaverse, extending realities, yes, all of them, and to address major societal challenges using these technologies. Another program. We are giving lots of insights here. So Connecting Europe Facility. It's a budget of 90 million euros and the deadline has been postponed until April. So basically we can apply for the calls. Sorry, my screen is, okay, changing a bit. So the European Commission has released this program to support and catalyze investments in digital connectivity infrastructures of common European interest. Among other missions, the objective of CEF is to contribute to the development of safe, secure, and sustainable high-performance infrastructures, including gigabit and 5G networks, to increase the capacity and resilience of digital backbone infrastructures, to digitalize the transport and energy networks. One example of a call that has been released is European quantum communication infrastructure. The objectives are to enable reliable and resilient transmission of sensitive communications and data between public authorities, research entities, and critical public infrastructures overseas and within countries and between the countries, between the territories. So that's one example of a call. It's single stage, actually really interesting direction to go to. Let's describe a few calls under cluster 4 into the space area. Of course, you don't have to be a space company to be interested in European space assets, such as Copernicus or Galileo. So Copernicus for emergency will target automated characterization of building height and building use, integration of new sensors, including 3D data, for early warning and active global fire detection and monitoring, for very high spatial resolution data. Okay, it has also included some requirements about improvement of the hydrological predictions for the flood, and hydrologic process representation. So here we can imagine that there will be some technology provider that will provide the sensors. Also, we can imagine some technology providers about the communications between the sensors and the satellite and the ground. And of course, some pilot sites that will implement the technology. The second call, develop innovative applications to support the European Green Deal building on meteorological satellite data. So it will emphasize the preparation and implementation of high quality satellite data products and applications using the next generation EU METSAT, that's the asset we have previously talked about like meteorological data, and also Copernicus exploitation by advanced physical, chemical, biochemical models and integrating in situ data to improve the implementation and operationalization of services and applications. That's okay. This call is also about use the satellites to improve seamless climate, weather, and environmental services in Europe and beyond. Third call, Copernicus for land and water, will target the development of efficient and reliable new paradigm in data fusion, data processing, and data visualization, essential for the Copernicus land monitoring service. It will be based on the high volume data satellite data sets and product sets. It should be the project that is applying for this call should be about development of new algorithm and processing chains, so about data fusions, to prepare new types of space observation data. Also, once again, it's interesting to have hydrological modeling serving the interests of various applications. So can be around agriculture, navigation, energy, flood prevention, these areas. Okay, the next slide. Okay, it's something totally different. It's still Europe, still about space assets, but now it's not the European Commission, it's the European Space Agency. It's another funding direction, and it is Europe's gateway to space. Its mission is to shape the development capability and to ensure that investment in space continues to deliver benefits to the citizens of Europe and the world. It is important to understand that ESA's objective is to promote space as an asset open for business applications, meaning that you can apply for ESA if one, your technology can contribute to the space asset, or two, second possibility, if your technology could significantly be leveraged through the usage of space assets. Therefore, ESA is interested to promote and finance projects in a very large variety of fields. ESA provides funding through different tracks. There are the Kickstart calls, which are small opportunities, pretty small, pretty simple to apply for. And well, they renew themselves. They will have new Kickstarts opening every month. There is the main track of ESA that is called business application. And you can request up to 2 million euros per project, zero equity funding. You will receive a personalized support from a member of the ESA team, and you will receive also technical and commercial guidance. You can either apply, let's not go too much in the details, but basically you can apply for projects in different levels of advancement. So either you go with feasibility studies, So you try to assess that your project can go to the market, can be technically feasible, or you go to the demonstration project and it's more about implementing your product. So just a few illustrations of some projects that were indeed financed by ESA, and they are not space focused. About health, for example, ESA is helping to develop innovative tools to detect, monitor, and combat osteoporosis. Ultimately, this research will provide tissue engineered for the skeletal system by helping scientists understand the relevant biochemical cues. With this knowledge, the right mechanical stimulus should improve bony tissue and also shorten the time needed to cultivate the tissue before implementation. So why would ESA be interested in such a project, health project? Because, well, the osteoporosis is can be suffered, astronauts can suffer from a disease that is similar to osteoporosis. So that's one application. The health sector can be interested in, it can be financed by ESA. Another field, the energy. So here you have energy efficient lamps for the future. It was developed by Philips and financed by ESA to understand the phenomena of energy saving plasma lamps. Third example, radio frequency systems and optical systems. It was about the diamond's traceability. So it has received funding for a POC, proof of concept. The objective was to combine controlled supply chain with ESA's assets to guarantee authentic and ethical mined gemstones. Last example about fishing nets for dynamic simulator. So it is mathematically modeled to predict the dynamics under the influence of various environments. So here, just a few topics of interest for ESA, but of course, they are also interested in industrial production, logistics, civil engineering, finance, and security, agriculture, and others. Okay, so here you have a slide about how concretely it works. So you can go to the website, create an account, and here you have access to the course, and you can access the templates, access the network within ESA, and apply for the course. We, of course, provide support with all of these administrative tasks. Okay, some upcoming challenges shortly. So that's a few kickstart projects. So for sustainable synergies. So here the deadline is in May for space in response to humanitarian crisis, which is very important right now that we know that there was an earthquake, so really relevant. And also about green energy utilities. So these are small calls, but very, very useful, and that can, like the name Kickstart, that can give you the impulse to be able to launch your product to the market, or to be able to lead a feasibility project. How do we manage? How do we do? From a strategic point of view, our work can be summarized as following. As a client at Argentum, we ensure you a personalized service with regular meetings. We first set a kickoff meeting in order to discover the assets and development projects of your company. With all this information, our consultants will work on the calls with you and target the calls throughout the year according to your priorities and timelines. Once you have decided which calls you want to apply for, we will schedule together for the year to come, and you will be in touch with your own project manager. They will need your responsiveness, and it's a real collaboration because we need all the material we can gather to submit on time. This process is, of course, in constant evolution and is dependent on what are your priorities and evolving strategies. Also, it will depend, of course, on the deadlines of the calls and on the launch of new promising calls. Our role is to guide you throughout the submission process and to maximize the process for obtaining the funding. Thank you very much. I hope that this webinar was interesting for you. It helped you get some inspiration regarding your developments and next funding applications. Later on, our marketing team will send you a follow-up email. You are also welcome to book a call via the link that will be in the email. I look forward to hearing from you and to set meetings if you need further information. Thank you very much. If you had any questions, we will answer you as well. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.